One shot.
Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show live from Cupertino High School in Cupertino, California. I'm Philip Kern with Ben Taylor on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Tonight's matchup features the visiting Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors against the host Cupertino Pioneers. Yerba Buena comes into tonight's game with an overall record of 0-2, while the home team, Cupertino, is 2-0. So, Ben, we wanted to talk a little bit about this matchup tonight. And, of course, this is not the first time that both these teams have played each other. Of course, this is sort of a rematch from last season.
Definitely a rematch from last year. 41-6, Cupertino came out on top last season. So, Yerba Buena looking for a little bit of redemption. This year, though, their team struggled a little bit out of the gate. But we'll see what we get here on this Friday night.
Absolutely. And, of course, you talk about a measure of revenge. They're not just looking for revenge, but also their first win of the season. They come into 0-2, but they do have some bright spots coming into tonight.
They certainly do. Jaden Sasang is the guy I'd like to keep my eye on tonight, and so we'll certainly keep the spotlight on him. 10 carries, 181 yards last week. Total this year, Yerba Buena's rushing attack has put up 250 yards in 28 carries, so pretty darn good rushing-wise. Passing the ball, not so much. So if they're going to have a chance here against Cupertino, I'd take a look at that rushing attack.
Oh, absolutely. And, of course, Mark Romero will be the starting quarterback for Yerba Buena after a little bit of QB shuffling. Now, going on to Cupertino, obviously they've gotten off to a much better start, 2-0. They've had a little bit more success with their first couple of games. And when I talked to Coach Chris Oswald earlier today, he was mentioning how defensively they're light years ahead of where they once were, but he did point out a couple of offensive players to watch tonight.
Eli Hawkins, one guy, he's all over the field offensively. He's a running back, also a wide receiver. He'll return kicks for Cupertino as well, so he'll be all over the place. I'm sure you're going to be mentioning his name a lot. We'll have to keep an eye on his yardage. And you mentioned the Cupertino defense. Well, you look at their results for the first 2 weeks this season: 20-19 victory over Mills, 28-20 victory over Hillsdale. The defense not giving up a whole lot of points in those two games, so we'll see how stout they are here against Yerba Buena.
We definitely will, and that's going to do it for tonight's PlayOnSports.com pregame show. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a few minutes. Friday Night Football begins next on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you. One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going
match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One one match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. Coming to you live from Cupertino, California. I'm Philip Kern with Ben Taylor on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Again, tonight's matchup features the 0-2 Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors visiting the 2-0 Cupertino Pioneers. And of course, Ben, we were talking a little bit about who we were going to watch for tonight in this game. I actually was looking at Yerba Buena's numbers, and someone else that jumped out to me is Ray Mathis, who's their team's leading receiver, 6 catches for 104 yards going in. It seems as though that whenever the passing game works, that's where they go. And here's the kickoff, and Cupertino takes it up. They will go to around the 30-yard line, breaks some tackles. He still stays on his feet, and down to about the 45-yard line, there is Eli Hawkins, who we were talking about just in the pregame, giving Cupertino some nice field position.
Very, very slippery was Eli Hawkins there on that kick return. He met tacklers around the 25-yard line, but broke a couple tackles out to the 45. Great starting field position for the Pioneers.
Absolutely. So the Cupertino Pioneers will get their first possession here on offense, led by quarterback Patrick Johnson. They will come at us with a multiple/pro style offense. So here we go with the I formation, 2 backs in the backfield. They send a guy in motion. There's the pitch to Hawkins. He goes around to the near sideline, and he'll be met right around the line of scrimmage, gain of about 3 yards, which will make it about a 2nd and 7.
Good pursuit by the linebacking core from Yerba Buena, not allowing Hawkins to get to that outside corner, forcing him to cut back inside, and he had nowhere to go.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, if you can divert the running back from any sort of initial running lanes he can go towards, make him think on his feet. Very, very excellent pursuit. 2nd down and 7 for the Cupertino offense. Here we go in the I formation. Johnson under center. He takes the snap. Handoff right again to the running back, and he's going to get a first down and much more. He's going to break free. He's down to the sideline. 10, 5, tries to stay in bounds. He does. Touchdown. Cupertino with a second play of the game. Joseph Oshner makes his presence felt, and right already, Cupertino draws first blood.
Tiptoeing along the sideline from about the 20 on down to the goal line. That was very impressive there by the Cupertino running back. My goodness, right out of the chute, up 6-0, looking to make it 7-0 here at the extra point.
How about an improvised balance beam routine? That's what that was reminding me of right there.
Very impressive.
Indeed. As Cupertino lines up for the extra point, a extra surge of momentum for the crowd already. 2 plays in, hey, you'll take a quick score. Ball snapped, the kick is up, and it's blocked. It really didn't get much hang time right there, as Sergio Gonzalez, who will operate as the team's kicker this evening, doesn't quite get it, but that's all right. Cupertino draws first blood. They were up 6-0, 57 seconds into this one.
Very impressive, and as we thought, didn't really use the pass a whole lot. Went to Hawkins once, Oshner the second time. That's all they needed. 2 plays, they go 55 yards for the score.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you said, 2 plays, that gets the job done really quick. So now it's going to be on to Yerba Buena to respond, and quickly. And here we see the Cupertino Special Teams unit coming out to the field, and Yerba Buena set with their kick return squad.
Yeah, Yerba Buena actually has their kick returners standing at the 15-yard line, so not expecting too much of a kick from Sergio Gonzalez.
Gonzalez getting his unit lined up. He is ready and kicks the ball away, and it's a fairly decent kick. Fielded right around the 10-yard line, and here comes the Yerba Buena return team. Bouncing around to the far sideline. He's going to get to the outside, and that's where he's going to end up, just short of the 30-yard line. Jaden Sasang, who is the team's leading rusher, also handling kick return duties, gives Yerba Buena some nice field position. We will see the Aztec Warriors offense for the first time this evening.
As I mentioned during the pregame, Sasang coming in after a major game last week. 181 yards on 10 carries in the 47-25 loss the Aztec Warriors took.
And even despite the loss, a very, very impressive performance for Sasang. And the Yerba Buena offense will be utilizing the pistol offense. Of course, if you're familiar with the pistol, you're familiar with how Nevada's used it with Chris Alt as the head coach there for so many years. And it's really starting to take hold at the college and high school levels as well. Here's quarterback Mark Romero taking the first snap of the game. Takes the snap, gives the handoff, the running back bouncing to the outside. That's Sasang, and he is met by a crew of Cupertino defenders. Really didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of about 3, maybe 4 yards, already a second and long for Yerba Buena.
The offensive line for Yerba Buena just let a flood of Pioneers come through basically once that ball was snapped, and Sasang no chance whatsoever to go anywhere.
2nd and 16 now for Yerba Buena. 10:24 left to go here in the first quarter. Cupertino already up 6-0. And some early movement on the Yerba Buena offensive line. Looks like it'll be a false start.
Like it was on the left guard, number 74, Francis Santos, guilty there. Very obvious as everybody else was at a standstill, and all of a sudden Santos started breaking backwards. Nowhere to hide.
No. Now this will make it a 2nd and 21, I'm going to say. Romero takes the snap. He's going to look downfield. Already getting pressured, and down he goes. Cupertino with the pressure. Matt Shamshoyan there with the quarterback pressure, and makes it a 3rd and maybe about a mile for the Yerba Buena offense.
Boy, oh boy, it's going to be a long day or long evening, I should say, for Yerba Buena if the Pioneers keep getting into the backfield like they are right now. I mean, for Yerba Buena, they're just moving backwards right now, not giving the offensive playmakers any chance whatsoever.
None at all. So about a 3rd and maybe a 27 for Yerba Buena. And again, more movement, false start. Yerba Buena just has this perpetual habit of going backwards here.
Aron Serrano, guilty of the movement there. Serrano listed as a tight end on the roster, but right there he was lined up as the slot receiver. And there was some movement by Yerba Buena, some legal movement, and Serrano, I think, caught that out of the side of his eye, thought the play had started when really the ball hadn't been snapped yet.
Romero takes the snap, 3rd down. He is looking downfield. He's going to let it fly, and it's complete to Ray Mathis, but obviously well short of even the original line of scrimmage. So already a 3 and out for the Yerba Buena offense, but really 2 penalties combined with a quarterback sack and even a run loss of yards. Not a good start for Yerba Buena.
But at least that completion gets them somewhat out of the shadow of their own end zone and gives the punt unit a chance to get the ball away.
Yeah, the last thing you would want is to have your punter towards the back of the end zone and all the pressure on him if he mishandles the ball. The punt is sent away. Eli Hawkins back to field it, but this punt's going to roll out of bounds. So Cupertino again going to get some nice field position here, close to around the Yerba Buena 40-yard line. And out comes the Pioneers offense once again. Perhaps that'll be a quicker drive, maybe one play. I mean, they are close enough right now.
Will we see them more than 53 seconds? I hope so.
Well,
will they throw the ball this time? Who knows?
They could. But maybe that's
all options are open.
Maybe that's the ace in the sleeve, perhaps. we don't know.
But, hey, when you have the kind of success they had with the rushing attack, I don't know if you need to pass yet.
True. Very true. Keep running them until they stop you. 1st and 10, they send Hawkins in motion. Play action pass. Johnson goes out to the right side, and the ball is incomplete. Adam Apolinar was the intended receiver, as Patrick Johnson, really a nice play-action bootleg. Pretty much did everything right, but the throw was a little bit behind, I thought.
And he was feeling some pressure from his backside, so he was smart to get rid of it when he did. And it's important to see that with quarterbacks, as they need to know when the pressure is getting to them. They need to have that internal clock and be able to get rid of the football and not get sacked.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime you have to take a needless sack, it's not necessary. 2nd and 10 for the Pioneer offense. Some last-minute motion there before everybody gets set. Johnson under center. Hands off to Apolinar on the fullback handoff, and he gets a nice bit of yardage. And talking to Coach Oswald for Cupertino, he did mention to me that we're going to be calling his name quite a bit. He is that sort of bruising-type runner that gives the Pioneer offense definitely an extra dimension.
Apolinar, a senior, standing at 5'9", almost 200 pounds. Big boy.
That's a load to tackle. So if you're the linebacker core for the Aztec Warriors, you want to make sure you wrap up and drag him down.
Maybe have more than one of you
there
catch
you go.
up and drag him down.
There you go. 3rd and 4 for the Cupertino offense. 8 minutes left here in the first quarter. They've split Hawkins out wide, so they do use him all over the place. Johnson drops back. Quick throw out to Hawkins. He makes the catch. It's a 1st down and maybe a little more. He's dragged down to about the 20-yard line. And some nice moves by Eli Hawkins right there. He's being utilized all over the field, as Coach Oswald had mentioned he would be.
And Hawkins right there, as you mentioned, lined up on the outside up against the playmaker for Yerba Buena, Jaden Sasang.
Mm-hmm.
And Sasang was actually the guy who made initial contact on Hawkins. Hawkins got around him and then was gang tackled by Sasang and a few other Aztec Warriors. But I think if you're Sasang on the outside, you can't give Hawkins that much cushion to catch the football because he has so much speed and he's so quick that he's going to make a play.
Another 1st down for Cupertino. Johnson back to throw. He's going to go over the top and incomplete. Intended for Eli Hawkins, and I believe that was Sasang on the deflection. We've been calling his name early, and he's been playing very well.
Very, very dangerous pass there. It wasn't distinctly triple coverage, but there were 3 players in the area of Hawkins. It was designed just a quick drop back and pass out to the flat, but the pass had no chance of getting there.
No chance at all, but I mean, let's give Sasang credit, though. That was a very, very nice play. 2nd down and 10. The pitch outside to Oshner. He's going to go around to the outside and try to bounce out. He evades one tackle. He's going to get past the second one. Did he stay in bounds long enough for the 1st down? I think he did. We're going to get the official marking from the referee. And he did. A gain of 12. Another 1st down for Cupertino.
Yerba Buena just can't take down Oshner at the moment. Quite elusive.
Yes, very much so. Already around 64 yards rushing on 2 carries.
And it looks like we're going to get our first timeout here. Yerba Buena looking to slow things down a bit.
You are correct. It is a Yerba Buena timeout. Couldn't have come at a better time, I think. They think they want to talk things over. 7:11 left to go here in the first quarter. Cupertino ahead 6-0.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. So 6-0 the score here. Cupertino knocking on the door yet again. I think a smart timeout for Yerba Buena here.
Very much so. Very much a smart timeout. And even talking to Coach Marco Osuna for the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors, he mentioned something that was very, very interesting. He was talking about his team, and he said this was more of a growth experience. A lot of his players are very new to the game, so really having to teach them a lot of the fundamentals. And, I mean, he was even noting some of the improvement from the first couple of games as I was speaking with him. But, again, you're seeing some of these kids pretty raw. So now we have a 1st and goal to go for the Pioneer offense. Standard I formation here. Johnson sends Hawkins in motion to the right side. Play action. He's going to drop back. Looking for Apolinar. He makes the catch. Breaks a tackle. 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Cupertino. And with 7:03 left to go here in the first quarter, already a 2-score game. Cupertino up 12-0.
Let me tell you, Jose Bren Rostro for Yerba Buena was right there, had a chance to tackle Apolinar, and it just didn't happen. Apolinar, a spin move for a big guy, pretty impressive, knew exactly where he was, and from there, the Aztec Warriors had no chance to tackle Apolinar.
Pretty nimble feet for the bruising running back, the senior, who Coach Oswald had said he was going to be used quite a bit as well. Team lines up for the extra point. The kick is up. Much better success this time. It is good. It is now 13-0 for the Pioneers, and a very early hole for the Aztec Warriors to climb out of. And if anything, they're going to have a much better series than they did that first time around.
Well, if you're Yerba Buena, you got to find a way to kill some time, because it's very clear that the Cupertino Pioneers are comfortable in their offense, and they're going to put points on the board the more they're on the field. And the Aztec Warriors defense has shown very little ability to stop them. Granted, we're early in the game, not even 5 minutes in. But if you're Yerba Buena, you got to find some way to sustain, get a first down or two, and at least get the offense feeling like they can move.
Absolutely. And, of course, they did have that one completion on 3rd and very, very long, but it was more of a Pyrrhic victory for them than anything else. But, again, like you said, try to get some momentum to move the ball and give your offense at least some hope. But you mentioned a very good point here. Try to play keep away from this Cupertino offense, because they're striking very quick.
And it shouldn't be too hard for Yerba Buena to get that rushing attack going. As I mentioned, 250 yards and 28 carries through the first 2 games. So they know how to run the football. They should be able to play keep away for at least a little while.
Here we go with the Yerba Buena return game. And a mosh pit of activity there right around the 32-yard line. So Yerba Buena is going to have a little bit of a nice start here. It looks like that was Luis Castrellon with the return. So Yerba Buena getting everybody involved on the special teams units. So now the Aztec Warrior offense comes back onto the field.
Squib kick there by Cupertino. Not sure if that was really by design or if that's just how it came off the foot of kicker Sergio Gonzalez. Either way, Yerba Buena starting with slightly better field position than they had on their first drive.
I'm sure this time, though, in the first play, they'd like to go forward instead of backwards. So we're getting some last-minute substitutions here for the Pioneer defense. And, of course, we're going to have a timeout. But it appears, and Cupertino with the timeout, but it appears that Yerba Buena had fumbled the kick return, and now Cupertino has another possession. I must have missed something.
It does appear as if they've awarded Cupertino the football. I didn't see the ball pop out.
No, I didn't either.
And as we look around the press box,
a lot of confused looks on everybody's faces. They're thinking the same thing we are.
Yeah. I mean, I could have swore that Castrellon, the ball carrier, was down.
Mm-hmm. I saw the same thing.
I didn't see any ball pop out or anything. But you're exactly right. Cupertino has possession, and they might have called a timeout because their defense had run out on the field.
A lot of things left to be explained, but we'll try to sort it all out as best we can. So the Pioneers offense back on the field against this 5-2 defense for the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors. First and 10 at the Yerba Buena 30-yard line. You talk about golden field position. This is it. Johnson sends in motion. He's going to get the drop back. He's getting pressured. He rolls out to his right. Still looking downfield. Is he going to get tracked down? He will, but he did break the line of scrimmage and made something out of nothing for a gain of 5. That looked to be Alonso Evans with the chase down. Nearly had him for a sack behind the line of scrimmage, though, so very nice pursuit by the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors.
You know, it's only a 5-yard gain, but in actuality, Patrick Johnson ran at least 20 or more yards there.
Yeah, true.
As he dropped back, kept dropping back, then had to run out toward the sideline away from the pressure, then had to gain back the yards that he had run backwards on, and eventually he did gain positive yardage. So he's probably trying to catch a quick breather at the moment.
2nd and 4 now for the Pioneers offense. Johnson under center, tried to draw the defense offside, couldn't do it. Handoff to Apolinar, and looks like he might have the first down. And the refs are going to mark him just short, so it looks like we'll have a 3rd and 1. But Apolinar has having a lot of success so far running the football.
Very much so, and if you're Yerba Buena right now, you got a chance, 3rd and 1, make the stop. Now, in high school football, obviously, I think at the 22-yard line, it's kind of the in-between area where it's almost a 40-yard kick. I'm not sure they'd try it, so it's probably 4-down territory.
The handoff to Oshner, and he's got a whole bunch of field ahead of him. Right up the middle, touchdown, Cupertino, 19-0 Pioneers, 6:03 left in the first quarter, and Yerba Buena is just looking at each other going, what in the world just happened?
Joseph Oshner had a hole the size of the Grand Canyon to run through there. I mean, he's got to go out and buy his offensive line a cookie or take him to dinner or something for opening up that kind of line. I mean, my goodness. You got to fit a semi through that.
And I'm not sure he was even touched either. Gonzalez with the point after. It's up, and it is good. So now we stand at 20-0. Cupertino with 6:03 left to go. And like you mentioned, Joseph Oshner, already his 2nd touchdown of the evening, and we're not even at halftime yet. I mean, you would think at some point we would see some of the other running backs, but that's the way it stands right now with Cupertino ahead 20-0 here in the first quarter.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Coming to you live from the campus of Cupertino High School, Philip Kern alongside Ben Taylor, bringing you Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com, your official destination for high school sports. Gonzalez gets everybody lined up. The kick is away. Looks like to be a little bit of a squibber. Fielded by the Yerba Buena return man, and he goes up the middle, bounces to the outside. He looks to have a little bit of room, shakes and bakes to the outside, gets to the 40, down to about the 41-yard line. Very impressive run by Guillermo Gonzalez, who Coach Osuna told us has been quite the impressive kick returner, gaining over 129 yards last week against Mount Pleasant.
Gonzalez, just a junior, so he's got this year plus another one in high school. Nice little speedster there.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen him yet in the early going of this game. Doesn't seem like it's the early going. It's 20-0 Cupertino. But this is only the 2nd offensive possession for Yerba Buena. And like I said before, they've got to find a way to sustain because Cupertino, their offense, just firing on all cylinders at the moment.
1st and 10, the 2nd Yerba Buena possession of the evening. Drops back to throw, tries to go over the top, and it's intercepted. Already Yerba Buena's first turnover, and this one is going to be taken to the house. One man to beat. The block is there. Touchdown, Cupertino. Seems like everything is going right as John Herrera takes it to the house, and already this has the makings of a very, very long night.
Mark Romero, quarterback for Yerba Buena, just didn't get enough on that pass. Plain and simple.
No.
He had his receiver out near the sideline and just didn't get enough on it. Threw it right into the hands of Herrera, and he was up down the sideline. And as you said, if they make this field goal 27-0, this has the makings of a very, very long night for Yerba Buena.
And the point after, of course, is good, so that makes it 27-0. Already plenty for the Cupertino faithful to cheer about. Hey, if you're scoring touchdowns on both sides of the ball, you're having a good night, I would bet.
Especially if you're scoring 27 points roughly 6.5 minutes into the first quarter.
Just as you mentioned, 5:40 left to go. We are just getting started, although it seems like we've gone through almost a half's worth of action already, with the score being 27-0 Pioneers over the Aztec Warriors. And I can't help but wonder, some of the conversation I have with Coach Osuna about how a lot of his team is going through a major growth period. He's trying to see a lot of that, trying to teach them a lot of the fundamentals, the basics of the game, and you're seeing it manifest itself right now, whether it's been the penalties or the mistakes. It seems like everything is costing him points.
And on the flip side, if you're Chris Oswald, head coach for Cupertino, I mean, normally coaches like to harp on things for their teams to change. I'm not sure he can be saying anything right now on his sideline. It's 27-0 with 5:40 left in the first quarter.
Gonzalez fumbles the kickoff return, but he does recover. He has some nice speed to the outside, gets dragged down to around the 22-yard line. That looks like David Park on the tackle, or at least contributed to it. So now the Yerba Buena offense may have to be forced to open up the playbook a little bit, maybe a little sooner than they thought.
Well, I mean, if you look at what the Aztec Warriors have done, they've had a total of 4 offensive plays. 2 of them went for major negative yards. One of them was intercepted in return for the touchdown, and the other was a 10-yard pass play to get them out of the shadow of their own end zone. They just need to hold the football for a little while.
1st and 10. Here's the handoff to Sasang, and doesn't really get much of anything, if that, maybe a yard or two, which will make it 2nd and, or I stand corrected. Didn't even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Loses a yard on that one. So it looks to be 2nd and 11 on their own 21-yard line.
And here we're going to get another look at what has already been an impressive Cupertino defense. Chris Oswald, of course, mentioning that. We mentioned that, I should say, during the pregame show. But so far, the Cupertino defense certainly has been strong, and they're getting some pressure into the backfield.
2nd and 11. Here's the handoff. Goes right up the middle and makes it a little bit past the line of scrimmage, so it'll definitely be a 3rd and long. That looks to be Hu Trong on the carry. So now we'll have a 3rd and 8 with 4.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter.
And again, if you're Yerba Buena, you might try a pass play here. But at the same time, 3rd and 8, you're deep in your own territory. Might see what a run can do off to the right, maybe bounce to the outside, gain some yards.
And here's a handoff right to Guillermo Gonzalez, and he goes absolutely nowhere. So it seems like 1 step forward, 3 steps backwards for this Yerba Buena offense, and again, another 3 and out. So I would imagine we'd see the punting unit come out, and as I suspected, we will do that. And it looks to be Mitchell Dang for Cupertino, back to return the punt. The kick is away, very nearly blocked, but he gets the punt away. And looks like it may have touched the Cupertino player. And it is Yerba Buena football. So a little bit of good fortune for the Aztec Warriors. Finally, a break goes their way as the ball bounced off of Mitchell Dang, it looked like. And so now the Aztec Warriors, with their best field position starting out here, 3:31 left in the first quarter, perhaps the makings of finally getting on the scoreboard here.
Kind of a sign of the times how the biggest offensive play so far for Yerba Buena has been a 25-yard punt.
Right. Hey, however you have to move the ball forward, right?
Whatever gets the clock ticking in the opposite direction, I think, right now for the Aztec Warriors.
And Romero can't even get the play off as Adam Apolinar, again, we're calling his name quite a bit, not just on offense, but on defense. He tracks down Mark Romero, trying to make his reads, but couldn't get the ball off. And now we're looking at about a 2nd and 20 from their own 40-yard line.
And Apolinar lining up on the defensive line. I'm not sure how it's even possible, but it looked like he went in untouched, unblocked. And Mark Romero had no shot.
He really didn't, and you could see how he was making his progressions and really couldn't get anything going. So now we've got a 2nd and 20. Wide receivers on the near sideline. Romero's going to take the snap, roll out. He's going to lob one up. This is dangerous, and it's incomplete, but we do have a flag on the field. Very nearly intercepted. I'm not sure who that pass was intended for, but that was dangerous. That looked like a duck flying through the air.
Yeah, that is likely going to be defensive pass interference, as it looks like Tony Uribe made a little bit of early contact.
Of course, the officiating crew trying to confer on this last call. Of course, I saw the flag just as the intended receiver got hit, although I don't know which one it was because there were 2 Aztec Warriors under that ball, but nevertheless a dangerous throw, and it looks like this will be on Cupertino, defensive pass interference. So it will be 1st down, Yerba Buena at the spot of the foul, I would imagine. So now Yerba Buena in enemy territory for the first time.
And if you're Yerba Buena, you got to be not only happy about this, but take advantage of the situation. 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter, and you have a chance to get on the scoreboard here.
Handoff right to the outside. Really nothing doing there for the Yerba Buena offense.
Cupertino's ball pursuit on running plays from Yerba Buena, very impressive so far. When the Aztec Warriors hand the ball off, almost immediately there are 4 or 5 Pioneers tracking him down.
And Coach Oswald was actually saying that their pursuit of the ball has gotten much better from last year as they tracked down Hu Trung on that carry. So 2nd and 10 from the Cupertino 45. Both receivers stacked on the far side. And a quarterback change for Yerba Buena. We'll get to you on that shortly. Rolling to the right side. The ball looks like it was fumbled. No, the refs are going to blow it dead. It was incomplete as Angel Cuevas was in taking the snap. So a little bit of a quarterback change already.
Coming in and making, or disrupting the play, I should say, would be John Herrera, the man who made the interception and took it back for the pick 6. He came back and disrupted Angel Cuevas. Very fortunate there were the Aztec Warriors, as I think that ball could have easily been ruled a fumble.
Absolutely. I mean, I barely saw Cuevas' arm go forward. 3rd down and 10. Going down the pistol, a little play action move. Cuevas goes down the field. Incomplete, but I think we're going to get another flag. Are we? Or, yes, we are. Yeah, one of the Yerba Buena players wanted a flag, and looks like he's got his wish.
Patrick Johnson came in, and he initiated contact before the ball arrived. And, you know, there might be a question of whether or not that pass was even catchable, but the contact was so early, didn't even give the receiver a chance to think about jumping up and catching it. So really no choice for the referees to throw the flag. But Yerba Buena has now just been absolutely handed a scoring opportunity by Cupertino. Muffed punt, 2 pass interference penalties, and they're on the 30-yard line.
Here's Cuevas rolling back. He's going to lob this one up. It's complete. It's a 1st down and a whole lot more. There is Ray Mathis, the team's leading receiver, making something happen for Yerba Buena, and some life here on this offensive drive. Their first earned 1st down, not earned by a penalty.
And a few minutes ago, I was saying that Chris Oswald doesn't have a whole lot to talk about on the sideline. But if Yerba Buena scores here, he's going to have a whole lot to talk about, as momentum, I'm not going to say it shifted over to Yerba Buena because the score is still 27-0. But Cupertino was entirely in control of this game, and the Aztec Warriors are on the doorstep.
Here's Cuevas to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Yerba Buena. And now they are on the scoreboard. A very, very impressive catch by Jonathan Hernandez. And the Aztec Warriors have sprung to life. 1:16 left here in the first quarter. It's now 27-6, Cupertino.
And I would not be at all surprised if on the next offensive series we again see Angel Cuevas under center, as he looked a whole lot more comfortable than the starter, Mark Romero. Cuevas completing his 2 pass attempts and guiding the end zone score.
And it was kind of a shock to see that QB change happen so quick. But like you said, Cuevas getting the results that I'm sure Coach Osuna was looking for. Here's the point after being lined up. The kick is up. It is good by Rafael Schar, who will operate as the kicker for the Aztec Warriors this evening. And it is now 27-7 Aztec Warriors. So if you're Yerba Buena, you gotta breathe a sigh of relief now, because you've actually drawn blood here in the first quarter.
You have drawn blood. Now you have to go back to the drawing board on defense and find some way to slow down Cupertino. You got to find some way to keep them from moving the ball down the field with such ease. I mean, it's almost as if Yerba Buena's defense isn't even standing there at the moment.
And you bring up a great point, because just the way Cupertino's rushing attack has been so effective, there were some runs where I don't think even the running back has been touched on a couple of those long touchdown runs. So, like you mentioned, Yerba Buena has got to get some pursuit on the ball carrier. So now Cupertino will get ready with their kick return unit. Isaiah Castro and Eli Hawkins back to return. Here's the kick from Schar. It's a pretty decent kick there. Hawkins going to field it around the 11-yard line, and he'll take it up. Following his blockers, he's got a little bit of room. Bounces to the outside. He's past the 30, down to the 35, and that's where it will end. And a little extracurricular activity here, which I'm not sure what Hawkins thought was so worthy of the extra smack talk, but either way, Cupertino with some fairly decent field position to start.
Yeah, Hawkins taking some exception to, I guess, the way he was tackled by David Perez. I don't know if Perez gave him an extra shot, but Hawkins stood up and certainly started jawing. Nothing more than a little smack talk, though.
So here we go, Cupertino with a 1st and 10. Standard I formation. Johnson, a quick drop and an incomplete pass. Very impressive play by Fernando Silva, just getting his hands up to bat the pass down. 2nd and 10 for Cupertino.
Silva, a senior on what you've mentioned is a fairly inexperienced Yerba Buena team. Right there, just using his big mitts to get the ball in the passing lane.
And quite the athletic play from Silva right there, too. So, can't be underestimated. 2nd and 10 for Cupertino, and looks like we're going to have a timeout here, it appears. Looks like a timeout for Yerba Buena. Already their second one they've used just this quarter. 1:02 left to go here in the first, with Cupertino ahead 27-7.
Do you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We are coming to you live from the campus of Cupertino High School here in Cupertino, California. Philip Kern alongside Ben Taylor, bringing you Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. Quite an interesting last couple minutes we've had here after Cupertino raced out to a very impressive start. But they've traded touchdowns here. It's now 27-7 Cupertino. 1:02 left here in the first quarter. Now we have a 2nd and 10. Johnson with the handoff to Oshner. He breaks a couple of tackles. He's going to go to the outside. He's met by a crew of Aztec Warrior defenders. Gains about 3 yards on the play. It's now 3rd and about 6.
I got to tell you, the Aztec Warriors had that play sniffed out, and a couple of tacklers missed their assignments, ended up taking 3 Yerba Buena defensemen to take down Oshner, who, once he gets going, is quite a load.
No, he is, and already nearly 70 yards rushing just in the first quarter alone. I'd say he is due for a big game just the way he's going right now.
And here, another big moment for Yerba Buena if they're looking to get back into this game, down 27-7. 3rd and 5, definitely a possibility if they are able to stop the Pioneers. A punt coming up, and looks like Cupertino is going to call a timeout.
They just did. I guess Coach Oswald or one of his assistants did not like what he was seeing, so he wants to talk it over with his troops. 12.2 seconds left, so this will most likely be the last play of the first quarter. Still, pretty dandy of a game here the last couple of minutes. It's 27-7 Cupertino over Yerba Buena, but like we mentioned before, pretty interesting last couple of possessions. They've been trading touchdowns, so it looks like Yerba Buena is starting to get their footing a little bit.
Yeah, the Aztec Warriors, almost like they came out a little flat, didn't realize the game actually started at 7:35 and instead of 7:55. 12.2 seconds, like I was saying before. 3rd and 5, get some pressure on the quarterback. Make Patrick Johnson make a play.
And the interesting thing is he has made a couple of plays, not necessarily with his arm, but with his legs. I mean, you were mentioning how they've been getting pressure on him a little bit. Just the 5-yard scamper that he had on one of the early possessions was created by quarterback pressure. So 3rd and 5 here for Cupertino. This might be the last play of the first quarter. He sends Apolinar in motion. Little bubble screen, incomplete, right through the hands of Matt Workman. And looks like it'll be 4th down and 5, so a nice little series here for the Yerba Buena defense. And not sure what Cupertino's going to do here. Maybe it'll be four down territory for them, maybe not. So we've got some substitutions out there. I do see quarterback Patrick Johnson heading back out to the field, so perhaps it looks like they might go for it here. Interesting call here by the Cupertino Pioneers. 4th and 5, 8.9 seconds left to go. Here's the pitch out to Hawkins. He's got a little bit of running room. And will he get the first down? Yes, he will, and get a whole lot more. Bounces back to the inside. He's down to the 40 and gets to about the 39. So a gutsy 4th down call this early here in the first quarter. But
there is a flag on the play. So we'll have to wait and see how that's sorted out. Regardless, it's the end of the first quarter. But this flag has major implications, and it is on Cupertino. So the major implications for this game is that was going to be a major run for the Pioneers, taking them into Yerba Buena territory. Now that's called back, making it 4th and 15. I would be shocked if they went for it on 4th and 15. 4th and 5, you can understand with the explosive ability of some of their running backs, but 4th and 15, I think it's pretty likely they'll be punting the football, and the Aztec Warriors have a chance to chip away yet again.
They certainly do, and we have reached the end of the first quarter with Cupertino ahead 27-7, but it appears that Cupertino will be punting this ball away unless Coach Oswald decides to surprise us again with another 4th down call.
Yeah, I mean, and from the Pioneers' perspective, even though you did give up a touchdown the last time down, you gave Yerba Buena 3/4 of their drive, basically, by muffing the punt that would have given you the ball back, and then leading to 2 defensive pass interference penalties. Chris Oswald might be feeling still pretty good about his defense.
Well, he probably is feeling pretty good about his defense, but you have to wonder what was going through his mind when he sees his squad commit those 2 defensive interference penalties, and that was really the bulk of the Yerba Buena drive. Like you mentioned, it wasn't really the Aztec Warriors' offensive effectiveness. Of course, they did string together 2 nice passing plays, but you really got to wonder, is Cupertino maybe starting to play back on their heels a little bit.
And there is some pretty intense conversation going on between the referees on both the Yerba Buena side and the Cupertino side. And Chris Oswald and the rest of the Pioneer coaching staff, I don't think they're buying whatever explanation they're getting from the referees. Right now, the ball being spotted at the 45-yard line.
Which I'm not too sure about that, because if the hold was against Cupertino, maybe they placed it at the spot of the foul. Who knows? But here we go. It's another 4th down call for the Cupertino Pioneers. Johnson under center. He's just going to hand it off to Apolinar, and that's one of the easiest first downs he's going to have all night. And he breaks it past midfield, and a new fresh set of downs for the Pioneers.
Pretty much a given first down there with Apolinar in the backfield. You know, I wish I could have been a fly on a shirt or something listening to the referee's explanation there, because for the life of me, I cannot figure out why the Pioneers got 4th and 1.
I don't know either. That's a very excellent question. 1st and 10 now for the Pioneers. Johnson will drop back to throw. He's going to get a little bit of pressure, gets the ball off, passes. Oh, it was dropped, and it was very, very nicely thrown. Tony Uribe, the intended receiver, and the ball was in his hands. Patrick Johnson with a absolutely perfect throw, but Uribe could not hold on to it.
That was going to be nearly a 20, 25-yard pass play, possibly more depending on if Uribe could break some tackles. But that ball was tipped by Uribe and almost ended up in the hands of Marcus Tran.
2nd down and 10. Joseph Oshner with the carry, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, so nice pursuit by the Yerba Buena defense, being led by Alonso Evans. He led the charge on that tackle. It's now 3rd and 10, so another huge opportunity here for Yerba Buena to make a 3rd down stop.
Yeah, if you're Marco Osuna, the head coach for Yerba Buena, you got to be happy with what your defense has done here in the past couple series.
Absolutely. Of course, the Aztec Warriors running that 5-2 defense with the hopes that it will clog up a lot of the running lanes. 3rd and 10 now for Cupertino. Yerba Buena probably showing blitz here. Johnson drops back to pass. He's getting pressured, and the pass is complete on the check down out to Apolinar. He's going to get a first down and be stopped at around the 34-yard line. So a nice little check down route run by Apolinar. A nice read by Johnson to find him. Another first down for Cupertino.
And Apolinar was wide open there in the center of the field. Didn't have the first down when he caught the football. Had to run for it. And, of course, as we've become accustomed to here in the first quarter plus, takes a few more than just one tackler to take down the large fullback for the Pioneers.
1st and 10 now for Cupertino. Johnson under center. Takes the snap. He's going to drop back again. Going to go up top, and no one really around. It looks like that pass was intended for Eli Hawkins. So now it's a 2nd down and 10. Not really too sure if I saw much quarterback pressure trying to rush the throw it right there, but in any case, Yerba Buena will take it.
I think Johnson just misfired there. Pass was behind Hawkins and at least 2-3 yards out of bounds. And it was man-to-man coverage along the sideline. So Hawkins had a chance if the ball was placed in the right spot, but Johnson just threw it behind his receiver.
10:22 left here in the second quarter. 2nd and 10 for Cupertino. Johnson's going to drop back. Avoids the pressure, and he has to take off himself. He's going to get the first down and perhaps a little more. Breaks some tackles, and he's dragged down to around the 15-yard line. And Cupertino, once again, looked like it might have been a broken play as Johnson avoids the rush by ducking and then sprinting.
And I was looking over at the Yerba Buena sideline when that play started, and they had 3 defensive linemen plus 1 linebacker get into the backfield and have a chance to get Johnson. They were jumping up and down. It looked like Johnson was going to go down, but once he emerged from that, there was a lot of green lawn to run through.
And, of course, nice heads-up play by Johnson to avoid the rush, just putting the head down and then come back up and go. 1st and 10 again for Cupertino. Johnson under center. He's got 3 receivers out. Pass over the middle to Uribe. He breaks one tackle and gets into the end zone. Once again, touchdown Pioneers. It's almost becoming too easy for Cupertino with 9:49 left here to go in the first half. The score now 33-7 Cupertino.
And again, Uribe caught that football. Yerba Buena had a chance to make a tackle, and Uribe just ran over the intended tackler and into the end zone, as it looked like Luis Castrillon was there and trying to stop Uribe at the goal line, and Uribe said, "I don't think so."
And with that point after by Sergio Gonzalez, it's now become a 33-7 game. Prep. Either way, the Pioneers, everything clicking on all cylinders. Of course, that is Patrick Johnson's second touchdown toss just in the first half. And for all the flashes of brilliance for the Yerba Buena defense, just could not hold up against Cupertino again.
Cupertino's got too many weapons. And right now the Aztec Warriors, they're missing their tackles. They're in the right place. But Cupertino's getting the job done.
Very much are as we get set for the Cupertino kickoff. Yerba Buena back to receive this. Again, 9:49 left to go here in the first half. A 33-7 game in favor of the Pioneers. There's the kick, a little bit of a squibber. And it's gonna go off a Yerba Buena returner, but Gonzalez with the return, he picks up the fumble and takes it to about the 25-yard line.
Got a little dicey there.
Oh, yes.
For the Aztec Warriors.
A little bit.
The ball was rolling towards Luis Castrillon, who wasn't really sure if he wanted to go get the football. And he kind of half-heartedly went after it. It bounced off him, then bounced off of Guillermo Gonzalez. Fortunately for Yerba Buena, Gonzalez was able to pick it up, and they maintained possession.
So now a new possession for the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors, a 1st and 10. Going out in the pistol. Here's Cuevas back to throw. He's got some time and goes to the check down route, trying to go for Jaden Sasang on the check down route, but throw didn't quite get there. But give Cuevas some credit. He moved around the pocket and tried to buy himself some time. And, of course, the Cupertino public address announcer providing some very necessary Major League Baseball score updates, and we thank him for that. Here we go, it's 2nd and 10. Cuevas drops back to throw. He's going to roll to his right. And the pass intended for Ray Mathis is incomplete.
Every single play, the Pioneers are getting into the backfield. And Cuevas is doing a better job of handling it than Mark Romero did.
Mm-hmm. That was something I was noticing too, just how Cuevas handles the pressure. There's really been a marked improvement on that one.
At the very least, Cuevas is rolling out and getting passes off.
Exactly. 3rd and 10 now. Yerba Buena with 3 wide receivers out to the near sideline. Cuevas with a throw. It was batted right at the line of scrimmage and doesn't really go anywhere. It looks like that was Tom Cotter pumping his fists in celebration. Looks like he got his hands on the ball. And big guy Tom Cotter, 6'5", 220, getting his long arms up and batting it down out of the sky.
Very, very big man. He's a senior too, so he's been around a while. And a nice bat down there, and now we again get to see the very explosive Eli Hawkins.
Here's the punt. It's going to go away. Hawkins is going to wave a fair catch on this one. He will field it right at the 40-yard line. And once again, Cupertino Pioneers with the ball. 9:13 left here in the first half. 33-7 Pioneers over the Aztec Warriors. You are watching Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. Philip Kern alongside my colleague Ben Taylor, bringing you the action here from Cupertino High School here in Cupertino, California. If I had a quarter for every time I said Cupertino in that last sentence, I'd probably have about $1.
That's right.
So here we go with the next Pioneers possession. A little bit of a last-minute change around here. Looks like your standard I formation. Johnson hands the ball off to Oshner, and he's got a whole lot of room to run. He's got the first down. He's going to the second level, to the third level. He's bouncing to the outside. He's got to the 30. He's got one man to beat. Breaks the tackle. 20, 15, dragged down to around the 10-yard line. Joseph Oshner, I think he surpassed 100 yards already here in this first half. He has had an impressive showing so far, and that is another first down for Cupertino.
Yeah, with that last run, he blew right past 100 yards. You think of the first run he had was right about 50, a little more, and then this one was 49 yards. I mean, my goodness, Yerba Buena choosing to bring some pressure into the backfield, thinking that the Pioneers would pass. They did not, and once Oshner got through that initial surge, there was no chance for the Aztec Warriors.
Johnson with the drop back. It's a pass complete to Apolinar, but he fumbled the ball on contact. Very rare that we ever see him do that, but he does fall back on it. So it gains about maybe 5 on the play, perhaps 4. So we're looking at about a 2nd and 6 for Cupertino, and really one of the rare mistakes Cupertino has made in this whole first half.
And I think that was Jaden Sisang who put the hard hit on Apolinar out there and knocked the ball free.
Here we go with a 2nd and 8. Handoff right to the outside. It's Oshner again, and it's a touchdown, but there is a penalty flag, and this one might be coming back, I would think.
I think Eli Hawkins is going to be called for a hold as he was trying to block for Oshner. And Oshner came his way, and we're getting a look at it here on the replay. Looked like there was a whole lot of holding, but enough for the yellow flag to be thrown and erase that touchdown from Cupertino.
So wave off the touchdown. No hat trick for Johnny Oshner yet, and yes, I just did use a hockey term. 7:59 left to go here in the first half. Cupertino up 33-7 over Yerba Buena High School.
Got to use all the hockey terms you can get right now because it doesn't sound like we're going to have a hockey season.
Oh, don't remind me. Do not remind me. That is one of the saddest pieces of news I heard today. 2nd down again for Cupertino. Johnson drops back to throw. He's looking to his left. It passes up, and it's intercepted by Yerba Buena. And they've got another possession coming to them. Jose Branrostro. I'm going to love saying that name. Jose Branrostro gets the ball out of the air, and that is a key turnover there by the Cupertino Pioneers. A red zone turnovers, those are even worse.
Well, and how big is that penalty to Eli Hawkins as it erased the touchdown on the very next play? They lose the football, and Johnson was getting pressure. He got rid of the football before any Aztec Warriors were able to get to him, but a couple paws got in the way, tipped the ball, and that's how Branrostro looked up, and the ball was basically sitting right in the breadbasket for him.
And now here's an interesting thing. Mark Romero back in at quarterback, and on the first play, he cannot get the ball away. Once again, Adam Apolinar with his 2nd sack of the evening, and Mark Romero just struggling against this Cupertino pressure.
You know, and it makes you wonder what the difference is when Romero's in the game versus Angel Cuevas. And right there, it was just a linebacker blitz from Cupertino, and I don't know if Mark Romero just didn't see it coming or didn't set his offensive line, but he was dead to rights basically once that ball was snapped.
2nd down and 17 for Yerba Buena. Romero takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Gonzalez. Runs around to the far sideline and really doesn't get much of anywhere on that one. A big, big loss. They just have not been able to get this running game going. And now it's going to be 3rd and maybe about a half a mile this time.
Yeah, Gonzalez right there just searching and searching and searching for that sideline so he could turn, and he never got there. And he was running east-west for a while, and then he just started running south. And it's never good when you start running south.
No. Looks like it'll be a 3rd and 26 now for Yerba Buena.
And they got to be careful here. They're on their own 6-yard line.
Mm-hmm. Yerba Buena, here comes the drop back. Little check down route, and it's complete, but really is not going to go much. Anyway, a big hit from Cupertino. Tom Cotter laying the wood on Hu Trong, and really, that's not a fair fight. Hu Trong, sort of a smaller guy, against Tom Cotter, 6'5", and put all 220 pounds of his frame on that hit. I mean, that was wicked.
That was a huge hit. There was an audible "oh"
yes
from everybody here at Cupertino High School.
And even here in the press box as well, you could hear it. The punt gets away, but just barely. Eli Hawkins going to field this one at about his 44-yard line. He's going to make a couple of moves. He breaks some tackles. He's down to about the 35. So a gain of about 9 on that play. So considering the lack of blocking he had, a nice punt return there. And with 5:21 left to go, say with me, Cupertino with the ball once again.
Good job by Jonathan Hernandez there on the coverage for Yerba Buena. Again, searching for silver linings here in the first half for the Aztec Warriors. If Hernandez doesn't get a paw on Hawkins and tug at his jersey a little bit to bring him down, Hawkins could have bounced to the opposite side of the field, and there was nobody there.
1st down and 10 for the Pioneers. A handoff to Oshner, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage. But we get another penalty flag. A nice stop there by Juan Ochoa, but we got to see what this flag is about.
Not exactly sure what this is all about.
Looks like a face mask on the defense, so as if anything else could go wrong for the Yerba Buena defense, they just shoot themselves in the foot with that penalty. A face mask looks like it might be an automatic 1st down, I would think. No, not quite. 5-yard penalty. Thank you, Ben. And it'll be a 1st and very short. Clock continues to run. 5:12 here left in the first half. So it looks like it's still a 1st and 5 now.
So just a 5-yard penalty there. Referee ruling that it was inadvertent tug at the face mask, not hard enough for a personal foul.
No. Hand off to Oshner. He's got the 1st down. He goes right up the middle. He's at the 10, the 5, one-man a beat. He gets there. Touchdown, Cupertino. There's the hat trick for Johnny Oshner, his 3rd touchdown of the first half. And I think we can officially call this one a blowout.
I mean, again, Oshner with a massive hole to run through, completely untouched for 35-plus yards into the end zone. I mean, again, I'm telling you, he's got to buy his offensive line a cookie or dinner tonight.
I think they'll take the dinner. Sergio Gonzalez with the extra point. It is good. So now, 40-7. Cupertino, but there's got to be one condition on that dinner his offensive line buys. I'm sure they're going to want to go for the buffet style of things. At the very least, I mean, look, Oshner with nearly 150 yards rushing just in the first half alone. I mean, they got to feel pretty good about themselves. They probably want to think, hey, get us the hometown buffet or something like that.
Got to worry about that with the offensive line.
Yeah, you got to do.
The defensive line for that matter, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, during the pregame show, we mentioned that in last year's contest, Cupertino won 41-6. So the next time the Pioneers get on the scoreboard, they will be eclipsed their point total from last year. And these 40 points they've put up in the quarter and a half are already the most offense they've put up this season.
Really incredible if you think about it. I mean, this is just an absolutely impressive display by Cupertino. They're just making it look easy. As Gonzalez will line up for the kickoff. Both units are ready. The kick is away. It's going to be a squibber. And they will just fall on it, which is probably the smartest thing on that one. Jose Herrera, the lucky recipient of the squibber. So Yerba Buena will take over at their own 29-yard line. 4:43 left to go, a 1st and 10. Down 40-7 to the Cupertino Pioneers.
Now, I know Yerba Buena has barely held the ball for a total of 5 minutes here in the first half, but if they can find some way to milk the clock for this final 4:43 of the first half and just get into the locker room and regather the troops, not give Cupertino another chance to score, small victory. Got to start looking for small victories if you're the Aztec Warriors down by 33.
you got to look for something to build off of at least.
Yep.
So here's Mark Romero back in the pistol formation. Takes the snap. He's going to look to his left. A little bit of pressure. There's the throw. It's going to be complete. Oh, but it's stripped out. No, the refs are going to wave it as an incomplete pass. Looked like it was caught at first by Ray Mathis and looked like a little bit of a duck of a throw there by Mark Romero. But something I was noticing there, did you notice his throwing motion? A little bit long on the release point.
Very long and very off the back foot.
Right.
For those that watched the Thursday night football game last night and saw Jay Cutler throw 4 interceptions off his back foot, you'll know that it's never a good thing when you throw off your back foot.
Never.
And I just have to say, Romero here in the first half has looked very uncomfortable behind center.
Romero takes the snap, lets this one go, and it is incomplete. That one intended for Jose Herrera and Isaiah Castro on the coverage. But a little bit better throw. Looked like he had a little bit better protection there in the pocket. But it's now 3rd and 10 for Yerba Buena. 4:26 left in the first half.
I mean, still, he did have better protection and he did have time to get rid of the football this time. But he had a hand right in his face and was knocked down on the play. So the Pioneers swarming on defense, putting points up on offense. They're looking very, very strong right now.
That 4-4 defense there causing a lot of problems for Yerba Buena. Here's Romero with the drop back, 3rd and 10. Off his back foot again. The pass is complete, but not very much doing there as it looks like we had a pair of 21s on that play. Hu Trung, tackled by Jacob Alexander.
And Jacob Alexander was not going to let Trung go anywhere.
No, absolutely not. And, of course, they're pretty similar in stature there. Of course, Hu Trung, we don't have the specifics of his frame, but Jacob Alexander around 5'5", 140 pounds. I remember when I was 5'5". I think I was in 8th grade. And here's Romero with the rollout to his right. He evades the tackler and looks like he's going to get the first down and get knocked out of bounds. A very vicious hit there by John Herrera, it looks like.
It's actually a fake punt attempt by the Aztec Warriors there as Michael Sandoval took the snap. And the ball actually never made it to the punter and completely caught the Pioneers off guard. And Sandoval running out to the right, able to gain the first down, plus about 5 or 6 more.
And you are correct, that was Sandoval. So a little trickeration, if you will. So a fresh set of downs for Yerba Buena. Here's Romero taking the snap. He's going to drop back. Lifts it up, and is it held on? Yes! A first down for Yerba Buena. And he breaks the tackle. He's down at the 20. 10, 5, touchdown! Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors.
Ray Mathis just would not go down.
No! Unbelievable. Wow.
He tipped the ball 3 times before actually securing it, then had 3 Pioneers around him on the sideline. I didn't think there was any way he was getting away from that, but somehow all 3 Pioneers fell to the ground. Mathis emerged from the pile and streaked into the end zone.
It was as if Cupertino just stopped trying to tackle him. They thought they had him down. That was incredible. One of the best plays of the night by Ray Mathis. Eluding 3 tacklers. He was in a dog pile and escaped unscathed. 2:58 left to go here in this first half. Yerba Buena now in double digits, pending the point after. But you know who that's got to really feel good for is Mark Romero. He's been struggling all night, and then he gets a play like that.
Like I said, it appeared to be a broken play from the beginning, and Mathis just kept it alive by tipping it up. And, I mean, you got to give all the credit you can to Mathis for not only making the catch, but then staying upright along the sideline and playing until the whistle is blown, which he did, and the Cupertino Pioneers did not.
And here's a fake point after. Romero going to lob it up for 2. He got it! Some more trickeration there as Romero lobs it up for Jonathan Hernandez for the 2-point conversion. So now it's a 40-15 affair here at Cupertino High School.
What touch displayed on that pass as, again, catching the Pioneers off guard. They had the coverage on Jonathan Hernandez in the right side of the end zone, but the ball just dropped right in there, and Hernandez there for the catch. And Yerba Buena, it's a touchdown on the board, +2. And it took just under 3 minutes.
And of course, the Cupertino mascot making his way down the track right now, and he gets a warm welcome from the stadium public address announcer. And here's Hawkins back to field the kick. Fields it near his own goal line. He's got a good amount of room to run, and he stopped it around the 30. We got another penalty flag, however. 2 flags fly out.
And this could be for 2 separate penalties. There were multiple tacklers in on the play. I think it's possible that Yerba Buena could be called for a face mask on the tackle. That's at least one of the flags.
And it looks like a block in the back on Cupertino, which makes some sense there.
I didn't think the Pioneers had gotten far enough up the field to be called for a block in the back. Nevertheless, Yerba Buena will take it, as this is the worst field position the Pioneers have started out with in this game. And now Yerba Buena has to find a way to keep Cupertino off the scoreboard for 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
And here's the handoff to Johnny Oshner, it looks like. One of the rare times the Aztec Warriors defense has stopped him for a gain of about maybe 2 yards, and the clock continues to run. 2:35 left to go. 40-15 your score here at Cupertino High School. Philip Kern alongside Ben Taylor, bringing you Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. And it looks like we're going to have, looks like an injury timeout as we have a Yerba Buena player down.
Can't see the numbers as of yet, but as we are in an injury timeout, do want to mention that both Yerba Buena and Cupertino have 1 timeout left apiece, as the man standing up, David Perez, and he jogs off under his own power. It's like he's favoring maybe his left forearm. Not sure as of yet, but certainly nothing lower body related, as he was perfectly fine getting up on his own.
Always good news when a player can leave under his own power, regardless of what the injury is.
Very much so.
So here we have a 2nd and 8. Cupertino at their own 18-yard line. as we are waiting for the clock to resume running. Looks like one of the coaches conferring with the back judge of our officiating crew this evening.
I think it might be the Cupertino athletic trainer who's making his way across the field at the moment. I'm going to check on David Perez.
Here's the handoff. Johnson with the play action. He's going to roll out to his right. He's got something deep. It's Hawkins. No. Slightly overthrown, but you could see the play developing. Hawkins had his man beat, but the ball slightly overthrown. It was a good idea by Patrick Johnson to try to stretch the field, but didn't quite have the ending they wanted.
Yeah, John Herrera drawing the tough assignment there of trying to, Aron Serrano was the man who drew the tough assignment of trying to hold off Eli Hawkins. And Hawkins had about 2 or 3 yards on Serrano there.
3rd and 8 now for the Cupertino offense. Johnson drops back. He's got a little bit of pressure coming. The drop out to Apolinar. That's a completed pass, and he will get the first down. A little bit of a swing screen there to Apolinar, and they've been utilizing him a whole bunch of different ways. Running the ball and now getting him involved in the passing game, and 2:16 to go here in the first half. Cupertino primed to at least get some more points before the first half is over.
Going to the no huddle here.
First down, here's Johnson rolling out to his left. He's looking down the field. He's got Workman there with a catch, another first down. Marked down at around the 45-yard line. Their own 45, of course, but that's going to move the chains for another first down.
Very smart play and execution for Cupertino right there. Understand they only have 1 timeout to work with, approaching 2 minutes left in the half. They threw a ball out to the sideline. Catch is made, quickly out of bounds, stops the clock. And now I think Yerba Buena is going to use their final timeout. Give the defense a little bit of a rest as, again, Cupertino was setting up to go with the no huddle.
Of course, 2:02 left here in the first half. Don't go very far. We will have the halftime show for you. We'll recap some of the first half action.
A lot of Cupertino touchdowns to talk about.
Yes, plenty. And and from both sides of the ball,
yep.
I might add. We've had plenty of action. Of course, Yerba Buena has had some of its moments. They really have. And, of course, it's just been sandwiched in between a bunch of Cupertino touchdowns. But we've had some moments of brilliance there from Yerba Buena. I mean, they have put together some impressive drives, but they've just been few and far between.
Now, their lack of experience, I think, is shown through here in the first half.
Absolutely. Johnson takes the snap. It's handed off to Oshner. Driving through the pile, he gains about 8 yards, so a healthy chunk as he goes into enemy territory there. 1:50 left to go here in the first half. And Cupertino close enough where they can go into their huddle. It looks like they're going to go more in their I formation here. And it's been working for him so far. Johnson sends Hawkins in motion. The pitch to the outside. There's Oshner yet again. And he might have enough for the first down. We will see where the refs spot this one.
This one might require a measurement, as the ball appears to be right on the 45. But now that they set the football down, it's clearly a first down. So the stick's just going to move up. Minute 14 for Cupertino to work with. They've also got that 1 timeout remaining, so they can stop the clock when they want.
Johnson with the drop back, and it's complete to Workman. He's got the ball in space, about 5-6 yards. And the coaches for Cupertino telling the offensive squad to hurry up here, realizing that they only have 1 timeout. And Cupertino head coach, I'm guessing, having some words with our officiating crew. Not exactly happy with maybe what wasn't called.
It looked like Workman was tripped up as he was trying to make a move. Defensive player for Yerba Buena just stuck his foot out and tripped up Workman. And the referee certainly having an intense discussion.
Here's Johnson rolling out to the right. He's going to go to the outside, and it's incomplete, intended for Eli Hawkins yet again. Another design bootleg, it looks like. So that will stop the clock at 33.6 seconds to go here in the first half, and it's 3rd and 5. So really some interesting options available. So if you're in Coach Chris Oswald's shoes, how do you go about this third down?
Well, you got 3rd and about 5 yards. You have the timeout. So I think here, if you're going to run the ball at all in the last 33.6, you do it here and see what you can get. You can stop the clock with a timeout.
And there's the run by Apolinar, and they will get the first down. They will stop the clock to move the sticks. And it's stopped right now at 29.7 seconds to go. And it looks like Cupertino's going to go in the no huddle, and they will. Johnson gets them lined up. Oshner, the single back in the backfield. They've split Apolinar out wide as a slot receiver. Here's Johnson on the drop back. He's going to lob it up for Castro. He's in the open field. He's got it. He's dragged down at the 10-yard line. Very nice read there by Patrick Johnson, finding Isaiah Castro in the open field towards the far sideline. And first down for Cupertino. 17 seconds left to go. And perhaps some more no huddle. Oh, it's a timeout. Thank you to Ben Taylor.
So 17.2 seconds left. And the ball on the Yerba Buena 9-yard line. I think Cupertino's probably got 3 pass plays if they choose to try to go to the end zone 3 times. A run play is out of the question, so I think that works in Yerba Buena's favor, as they don't have to worry about Oshner or Hawkins out of the backfield.
Sure. But again, like we've seen with Cupertino's passing game, it has been working pretty well, at least tonight. So, really, it's sort of a case of pick your poison, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, and with a 40-15 lead, I guess you can try whatever you want.
Well, the Pioneers do have a great amount of flexibility here in terms of what they can call. So we will see what Coach Oswald has instructed quarterback Patrick Johnson to do. 1st and goal to go, 17.2 seconds to go here in the first half. Johnson with the drop back. He's got a little bit of pressure, and the ball is batted down yet again. Fernando Silva, second time I think he's done that today. And he's sort of their version of Tom Cotter. He's another tall guy with the long arms. He batted the ball out of the air.
And Fernando Silva, not blocked by Cupertino at all, came in, batted the ball down, and saved a touchdown there as there were a couple of open receivers in the end zone for the Pioneers.
Johnson, here's the drop back to Oshner. He breaks the tackle. He's going to get around to the outside. Is that to the 5? Does he get in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Cupertino. The icing on the cake on that drive. They took a big risk there with that rushing play. Johnny Oshner, 4 touchdowns just in this half. With 5 seconds to go, Cupertino 46, Yerba Buena 15.
And the story of the first half, really, Oshner getting the football, evading tacklers, and finding his way into the end zone. He has 4 touchdowns in the half and at least 150 yards.
At least. I think I may have lost count after a while. The point after by Gonzalez is up and good, and it lands right into the direction of their own marching band. But now, with 5 seconds to go, 47-15 Cupertino. It has just been an absolute clinic put on by this Pioneers offense.
They've scored every time down the field except for one series where Patrick Johnson had a pass tipped at the line of scrimmage, that ended up being intercepted. Other than that, I'd say the Pioneers' offense has been darn perfect.
It's been like a well-oiled machine tonight, to say the least. And you mentioned it before. I don't think I can recall maybe one series. I think you mentioned it right there. Maybe one series where they came away without a touchdown. And when your offense is clicking like that, I don't care what your opponent is. That's an impressive showing. Really is. So here is Sergio Gonzalez. Ready for the kickoff. This might be the last play here of the first half. Squads are lined up. The kick is away. It's going to be another little squibber. And there is Jose Herrera fielding the kick. And that is going to do it for the first half. So plenty to talk about here when we have the halftime show coming up. And two very, very different locker room messages, I'm sure. And we will talk more about that. We have reached halftime here at Cupertino High School. Your score at the end of the first half. The Cupertino Pioneers 47, the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors 15. Don't go away. The PlayOnSports.com halftime show is coming up very shortly on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. welcome to the PlayOnSports.com halftime show, coming to you from Cupertino High School in Cupertino, California. I'm Philip Kern alongside Ben Taylor, and our halftime score is the Cupertino Pioneers 47 and the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors 15. And Ben, we were talking about this a little bit off the air before we came back on for the halftime show. Really, the half can be summed up in one name.
Oshner.
Joseph Oshner, exactly. 4 touchdowns in the first half. He has been the star of this game.
4 touchdowns for Oshner, all on the ground. His last one coming just before the half, a 9-yard scamper. 2 of his other runs have been massive scores where the hole opened up for the offensive line, and Oshner just dashed right on through it. I'm not a very fleet-footed person, but I could have run into the end zone with those kind of holes. I mean, my goodness, Oshner had some holes to run through, but you got to give credit where credit's due. He has over 150 rushing yards in this game. Cupertino firing on all cylinders offensively, and really there's not a whole lot negative you can say about what the Pioneers did in the first half.
Although I had to say, for lack of being fleet of foot, you had the long stride to make up for it. So let's accentuate the positive on that one. But you're right. Joseph Oshner has just been absolutely impressive. But let's not forget that Patrick Johnson has executed this offense very well. And he's come under pressure a couple times, but he's been able to make the right decisions at the right time in moving this offense forward. So he deserves some credit for what's been going on right now.
He certainly does. He most certainly does. And whenever an offense is able to put up 47 points, although 7 of those 47 were the result of an interception. So let's say the offense was able to put up 40 points. Regardless, it's a ton of points to put up. Everybody on offense deserves credit, from the guys down in the trenches on the offensive line to the playmakers on the outside, right down to the captain, the quarterback, Patrick Johnson.
And, of course, Yerba Buena, one main highlight that we had was Ray Mathis catching a pass near the far sideline and escaping 3, count them 3, and he was in the midst of a dog pile of Pioneer defenders, still escaped and finished the job for a long touchdown, which at least for the time being seemed like it put some extra momentum in the Aztec Warriors' sails.
Absolutely. And you look at the score, 47-15, and you say, okay, Cupertino's dominated. Well, the highlight play of the first half was actually that Mathis touchdown, and he caught it at about the 35-yard line, and as you mentioned, was attempted to be dragged down by 3 Pioneers. They couldn't do it, and he ran the rest of the way at the 30 yards. A 55-yard touchdown play in total. Very impressive. One of the few bright spots of the first half, but also, as we were talking during the break, Yerba Buena, they had flashes of being able to be on par with Cupertino, but again, that inexperience and just not being around the game as long as some of the Pioneers have obviously been around. It showed in that first half. And Cupertino, just the more consistent team and the more athletically talented team, at least in that first half.
That's going to do it for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Friday Night Football will return in just a few moments with a start of the second half right here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com's presentation of Friday Night Football, live from Cupertino, California. I'm Philip Kern alongside my colleague Ben Taylor, where the Cupertino Pioneers lead the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors 47-15 as we get ready to start the second half. And Ben, we were just noticing that it appears that Cupertino will be making a QB change.
At least at some point.
Yes, exactly.
Here in the second half. Shea Nevo warming up on the sidelines. Junior, small guy, 5'7", 135. So, got to put a little meat on him if he's going to play after high school. But not a shock, up 47-15. I imagine we'll maybe see Patrick Johnson for an opening series, but nothing more than that. Unless Yerba Buena makes a major comeback and makes the game interesting, there's no reason to risk injury to your number one quarterback. And I imagine we're not going to see a whole lot of Eli Hawkins or even Joseph Oshner here in the second half if everything goes to plan for the Pioneers.
Yeah, I would highly doubt that. I think it's at this point you would see a lot of the second stringers just to get them some experience, just to get them a chance to really get some reps outside of the practice field. And I think if you're Coach Chris Oswald right now, you have to love having that type of situation because you can get your whole roster some experience. So if heaven forbid that one of your main guys gets hurt, you have somebody to rely on. And, of course, we were talking about Shai Nevo. I mean, how much longer are we going to see Adam Apolinar? I mean, we've been calling his name quite a bit as well. You would think that maybe at some point during the second half he might spend some of the time on the sidelines as well.
Yeah, Hawkins, Apolinar, we're not going to see a lot of them. Oshner, again, probably not, and Johnson. So the four major playmakers, I'd be shocked if they play any more than one or two series here in the second half. On the flip side, Yerba Buena, you keep all of your first stringers out there, and you try to get a rhythm and maybe get some momentum heading into next week.
That appears to be the goal here. As we get ready for the second half kickoff, we are coming to you live from Cupertino High School in Cupertino, California. Quite a nice city to drive through, I must add.
Very much so.
Here's the kickoff by Gonzalez. It's not quite a squibber, but it's not quite a booming kick either. Fielded by Gonzalez, and he's got some room up the middle of the field and will be dragged down at around the 30-yard line. And that is where Yerba Buena will take over. And we see Mark Romero, who's been sort of in and out of this game. Remember, he actually sat out a couple of series where Angel Cuevas actually led a touchdown drive, but Romero responded with one of his own. But you have to look at it, though. Coach Marco Osuna was telling me about this, that this is Mark Romero's first year playing quarterback, and he's had some moments where he's looked shaky, but all in all, not bad.
Not bad. Again, he's been feeling a lot of pressure from Cupertino, and it's certainly a tough assignment in your first year as quarterback facing a veteran Pioneers defense that is firing on all cylinders here in the early going of 2012.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Romero takes the snap, and it's a handoff right to the outside, and a couple of yards there, but a big hit by, it looks like, Mitchell Dang on the hit. And the end-around carry by Ray Mathis. But a healthy gain of yards there, maybe about 7. And so you're looking at a 2nd and 3.
You know, you talk about Dang making the tackle, and he did make a great tackle, but at the same time, Mathis did not shy away from contact there. He went right into Dang, and the two of them collided with a lot of explosiveness.
Romero fumbles the snap, and he has to fall right on it, so the miscues again coming back to hurt Yerba Buena after making such a nice play here on first down. So now it'll be 3rd down and about 7, I would think.
And I do have to clarify my last comment about Yerba Buena getting some momentum into next week. They actually have a bye next week and don't have a game until September 28th at Prospect High School.
Well, extra preparation time.
That's right.
We'll just call it that. 3rd down and 7, 10:33 left to go here in the third quarter. Here you see the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors lining up in the pistol. Romero back to throw. He's going to lob this one up. It's a catch by Ray Mathis, and he's going to have the first down. So Ray Mathis has been one of the bright spots here for this Aztec Warrior offense, inching ever so closer to 100 yards receiving.
And Mathis made that play happen right there as the throw from Romero was way behind the Aztec wide receiver, but he readjusted, came back to the football, made the catch, and a very nice 15, 20-yard game.
First down near midfield for the Aztec Warriors. Romero takes the snap. He's going to drop back. He's going to look to his right, so it'll roll out. Heaves it deep, and it is intercepted. Mitchell Dang with the interception, but there is a flag on the play. We're going to see what happens. He's dragged down to around the 50-yard line, but it was as if you could almost sense the interception coming. The ball just hung up there a little bit too long. The intended receiver was Jonathan Hernandez, who did catch that 2-point conversion earlier. But I'll tell you what, it was almost as if danger was waiting to happen. We're still going to see what the penalty flag is, but again, the miscues just piling up.
And Hernandez did raise up his hands in disgust. Could be pass interference on Cupertino, and it does appear to be that. So erase the interception. And the ball is going to be spotted at the spot of the foul. So Yerba Buena now at the Cupertino 36.
So another little bit of good fortune here for the Aztec Warriors. Have I mentioned I'm still not quite used to saying that yet? Aztec Warriors. I don't know why. Maybe I will never get used to it. 1st and 10 on the Cupertino 36-yard line. Romero takes the low snap. He fields it, but he is dragged down and can't go anywhere as Anthony Tung, affectionately nicknamed Panda, chases him down for the sack. And I know you were especially having a nice chuckle over the Panda nickname, of course, as San Francisco Giants fans know. Panda, affectionately the term for Pablo Sandoval, but Panda in this own sense, Coach Chris Oswald had some nice things to say about him.
And Adam Apolinar also getting in on that tackle as well, helping in the wrap-up of Mark Romero.
So now we have a 2nd and 19. Yerba Buena still in enemy territory here. Romero takes the snap. It's a much better one. Going to go to the check down route here, but it's dropped. Incomplete there. The intended receiver, again, Jaden Sasang. We haven't really talked about him much tonight, but he's been pretty bottled up, mainly making most of his plays on the defensive side of the ball.
You know, and just as well that Sasang didn't make that catch because he was about to be lit up.
Oh, yeah.
On the outside.
And Cupertino with this 4-4 defense, a lot of side-to-side playmakers on the linebacking core, and they've really kept this Yerba Buena rushing offense bottled up. And they have let some things go on the passing side of things, but an overall very, very impressive performance from this Cupertino defense. 3rd and 19. Romero takes the snap. He's going to drop back again. He's got pressure coming, and he can't get rid of the ball. It is going to be flagged as incomplete. Very, very close, though, as John Herrera nearly forced a fumble, but the ref ruled that Romero's arm was going forward.
And right there you see the difference in experience between Mark Romero, the quarterback for Yerba Buena, and Patrick Johnson, the quarterback for Cupertino. Johnson would have gotten rid of that football 2-3 seconds before Romero chose to.
So now we're at 8:39 left to go. Isaiah Castro back to receive the punt for Cupertino. And here's the punt. It gets away and trying to sell the roughing the punter call, but I don't think it's going to draw a flag. But Ray Mathis is still down as the punt rolled towards the back of the end zone. It's the touchback. And we're going to have an injury timeout. So
Mathis is in a lot of pain right now. Back at his own 45-yard line. And it looks like it's the left leg. And the training staff from both Cupertino and Yerba Buena out there. And it could be a cramp.
Yeah.
Looks like they're stretching him out a little bit. Waterboy's going to run over and douse a little water on Mathis.
And at first, it looked like he was just trying to sell the roughing the punter play because I didn't really see any sort of contact that would really lead to it. But with Mathis being down like he is, hopefully it's nothing more than just a cramp. It looks like he's going to be okay. They're just stretching out the leg. And at 8:31 left here in the third quarter, Cupertino gets the ball back up 47-15.
Again, Mathis able to walk off under his own power. So that's always a good sign, and just going to kind of walk the cramp out, it looks like. But, Philip, did you know that PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country? PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
And you know what, Ben? I just learned something today, and I thank you for that.
Learn something new every day.
Yes, you do. Only if you're open to learning, though.
That's right.
That's the key. Cupertino with a fresh possession now. 8:31 left to go here in the third quarter. Philip Kern alongside Ben Taylor coming to you live from Cupertino High School. Here's the snap and the pitch to Oshner. I'm surprised he's still in. He gets to the outside. He's going to get a first down and is forced out around the 34-yard line.
And as we thought, Shai Naveau is the new quarterback, and Patrick Johnson is done for this game.
And we see him right there on the sideline. And even Eli Hawkins taking a breather as Workman going towards the sideline to take a breather as well. And it looks like Apolinar is still in the game. He is there in the backfield. Shai Naveau under center. He's going to give the handoff to Apolinar, and he fumbles the football, and Yerba Buena may have come up with it.
Miscommunication there between quarterback and running back, as Apolinar thought he was getting the ball on one side, and Naveau went to give the handoff on the other side, and play was doomed from the beginning, and Apolinar is going to be guilty of the fumble there, but that's really on both he and Naveau for not being on the same page.
So another turnover for Cupertino. Some good fortune here for Yerba Buena. They start out at the Cupertino 30-yard line.
Third turnover of the game on the Pioneers.
Romero takes the snap. He's going to drop back. He's got some pressure. Looks to his left. And is it intercepted? Yes, it is. Both teams playing hot potato with the football as far as a turnover battle. And guess what? Mitchell Dang. This time the interception is going to count. He did have one earlier where it was called back because of the penalty. But this one's going to stick, and Cupertino gets it back. 7:54 left to go here in the third quarter. And Pioneers offense once again on the field.
Right there, it was a jump ball thrown up there by Romero. Intended receiver was Jose Herrera. And Herrera got a hand on it, but there were two Pioneers blanketed around him.
And Naveau trying to draw the defense off sides. Can't do that. There's the pitch to the outside. And we're going to get about a first down and more. He's got some speed. He's going to get dragged down from behind. Almost a horse collar tackle, I would think. But a first down for Jacob Alexander, showing a little bit of speed there as he got to the second level of the defense. And if it wasn't for him getting dragged down, we may have had another highlight run.
Yeah, Jacob Alexander showcasing his speed. And if you're a Pioneers fan or even just a Pioneer player standing on the sideline looking at your squad out on the field, you got to love the speed and athleticism that this team can go with. They have three speedsters, really, and Hawkins and Oshner we know about, and Hawkins looks like he can scamper a little bit too.
And Alexander takes the ball up the middle Second consecutive carry. He gains about 4 yards, so it'll be a 2nd and 6. And Shai Naveau really not asked to do a whole lot, but at this point you don't really need him to. This is probably more for him just to get experience running the offense, just to see how everything works outside the practice field.
Yeah, Naveau a junior, Patrick Johnson a senior. One would assume that Naveau is going to be the man to take over for Johnson in 2013.
And here's the handoff to Apolinar. He's going to bounce to the outside. He's going to get a first down and perhaps a little more. Turning on the Jets, he's breaking out some tackles, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds at around the 28-yard line, and another first down for the Pioneers.
You know, and I got to say, Apolinar brings a different look than I think a lot of high school football teams are able to bring, and that is he's the big bruising guy, but he's got some speed, too.
He does.
When he's got room to move, he can move.
And we saw a little bit of that speed as he went to the outside. I mean, that was a very, very impressive run. So first down and 10. Cupertino at the Yerba Buena 31-yard line. 6:18 left to go. Here's the pitch to the outside. And he's going to go back up the middle, get dragged down. Nearly another horse collar tackle. And it's going to be at least 2nd and 3. And I wish I could tell you who number 28 was, but no one in the press box knows, so I don't feel so bad. So it's now 2nd and 3. Shai Naveau trying to direct traffic.
Always fun when a player comes out with a jersey number that's not on the roster.
Oh, absolutely. It makes things interesting. Here's Alexander with the handoff. He gains maybe a couple of yards. We'll see where they spot this one. It will be 3rd and 2 as Cupertino inches ever so closer to the red zone.
You know, we've gone 7 minutes without a score in this game. And I don't know what to do with myself.
Well, the way Cupertino's been scoring, it seems like it's been an eternity since anybody has scored me. It was just a breakneck pace with all the touchdowns going on in the first half.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Oh, no. I appreciate your observation skills, Ben. I really do. That's why they pay you for the big bucks. Here's the handoff to Albert Huang. He's going to get the first down. It goes to the outside, and he's bumped out of bounds at around the 10. But he does get the first down. So Cupertino really utilizing all of its running backs here in an effort to try to get everybody some playing time. And Albert Huang with some nice vision going to the outside.
Very much so. And if he'd stayed on his feet, I think he would have been in the end zone. He kind of got tripped up a little bit, but then actually fell over his own feet out of bounds.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the balance beam type act that Joseph Oshner treated us to with one of his patented runs here in the first half. Naveau takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Alexander again. He's going to go up the middle. Goes into the pile and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cupertino. I feel like I'm going into a broken record mode here. It's now 53-15. Pioneers, 4:11 left to go here in the third quarter.
And really, it's been the Pioneers' rushing attack that has done the damage here tonight. Patrick Johnson, starting quarterback for Cupertino, did a great job orchestrating in the first half. But this drive right here showed what the Pioneers are all about. Running the football. And they didn't even attempt a pass.
And the point after is good, so it's now 54-14. Pioneers over the Aztec Warriors.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you were enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Coming to you live from Cupertino High School in Cupertino, California. Philip Kern alongside my colleague Ben Taylor. Bring you Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. your home for some of the best high school football action, not just here in California, but all across the country.
Lots of action here on a Friday night.
Oh, absolutely.
Little action on Saturdays.
But Friday night is high school football
That's
night.
exactly
There's no
right.
question. Here's Sergio Gonzalez. He's been pretty busy tonight. He puts up a squibber, and it's going to go to around the 20-yard line, and that's going to be a flag. So not quite the ending he wanted. And that's going to give Yerba Buena some nice field position to start.
It's always interesting to watch kickers in high school because there are some schools that absolutely have kickers, and you can tell right off the bat. But then there are also schools, and I think Cupertino is included in this category, that they kind of convert one of their other players into a kicker and just kind of make ends meet that way. And up to this point in the game, that's worked. But that kick off the foot of Sergio Gonzalez just had no chance from the start.
No chance, and Yerba Buena will start at their own 35-yard line. They've had some good drives that have started in great field position, just haven't converted them. So here we go, 1st and 10, 4:11 to go here in the third quarter. Yerba Buena down 54-15 as Romero drops back. He's going to look to his right. The pass bounces off his intended receiver. It's incomplete. Pass intended for Jose Herrera. Seemed as if he looked it right into his shoulder pads and forgot to use his hands.
Jacob Alexander was right there, and I'm not sure if he got a hand on it before the ball got into the breadbasket or not. But if that ball was caught, Alexander was right there for the hit. And he actually even made the hit despite the fact that the ball was not caught.
2nd down and 10. Yerba Buena still running that pistol offense. Romero takes the snap. He's going to look to his left. He's going to heave it up and deep, and it is, it's dropped. Dropped by Iran Serrano, who looked like he may have pushed off a little bit. He was lucky he didn't get flagged for offensive pass interference.
Yeah, Serrano had a chance to catch that one. Hit both his hands off his numbers, but the throw from Romero was behind him. And he had to come back to the football instead of catching it in stride. And I don't want to sound like I'm picking on Romero because I know he's a first-year quarterback. It's only his 3rd game.
Right.
But he's got some work to do.
Oh, he does.
He certainly has some work to do. He has arm strength, but his mechanics are in need of some help.
Here's Romero trying to roll out to the outside, and he really can't get anything going. He did evade one tackler, but couldn't evade them all as Tom Cotter led the charge to bring him down right around the line of scrimmage. So it is now 4th down and 10 with 3:40 to go, and I would think at this point they'll just let the clock run the rest of the way with the score being what it is. And we will now see the special teams units out. Ray Mathis back to do the punting. Isaiah Castro to return the punt for Cupertino.
Good to see Mathis back out there after that injury a few minutes ago.
Absolutely. Castro's going to field this one on a bounce right around the 18-yard line. He gets the block, but there is going to be a flag, so I'm going to guess a block in the back on this one. Castro making a nice return, though, right around the 40-yard line. But I think Mitchell Dang, who has made some plays that I think Coach Chris Oswald would kind of wish he had laid off on because he has been called for a couple penalties tonight. With that block in the back as Castro tried to field the punt. And that'll probably add to the return already there.
Yeah, Dang has been flagged for a few penalties in this game. And, you got to like his anxiousness and getting out there and fire and energy and really just flying around out there, holding nothing back. But at some point, you got to play a little bit more under control because games are not always going to be 54-15. And penalties like this down the road against better teams, and once you get into the playoffs, if you get into the playoffs,
sure,
these kind of penalties hurt.
They absolutely will, and this penalty drops him all the way back to their own 8-yard line. So a huge penalty, but the way Cupertino's offense has been going, 92 yards to the end zone.
They can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they might not even have to pass.
No, which is even scarier. 1st and 10. Here is the handoff to Apolinar. He's going to bounce to the outside. He gets dragged down by multiple Yerba Buena defenders. That's a gain of about 2.
You know, I'm shocked by how much we're seeing of Apolinar here,
Right.
with just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter, up by 39.
So here we have a 2nd and 8. Pioneers lined up in their standard I formation. Haven't really had to deviate much from it. There's a pitch out to the mystery man, number 28. I wish I knew who he was, but he's making a nice run, and he gets the first down and a little more. And we have revealed the identity of number 28. It is Alvin Dew. Alvin Dew, who lists as number 32 on our program, is actually wearing number 28. So it seems as though the Pioneers have called a roster audible. Not uncommon, of course. 1st and 10 now for Cupertino. The handoff, it looks like, to Alexander, and he will get the first down, and probably one of the easiest first downs he's ever going to have this season, I would think.
Flag came in late. Not exactly sure what that's about. But when a flag comes in that late, it's...
And the flag is going against Cupertino, either a hold or a block in the back. Could be either one of those two, but it wipes out a nice run by Alexander.
Yeah, the indication was a block in the back.
And that's going to push him back a little bit. So it will still remain first down. 1:49 left to go here in the third quarter. And there you see Shai Naveau getting the play call from the head coach. And the clock continues to run, 1:36 and counting here in the third quarter. Coming to you live from Cupertino High School. The Pioneers ahead of the Aztec Warriors, 54-15. And here's the pitch to Alvin Dew. He's going to bounce to the outside. He has a little bit of room, and he's going to get to the first down marker and perhaps a little more. We're going to see where they mark this, and it looks like he's going to get the first down after all.
Yeah, Dew, just a junior, 5'9", 150 pounds, not avoiding contact. And that's another thing I've been impressed with about the Pioneers, as they have a running attack that obviously very talented, but they also don't shy away from running right into defenders who are looking to tackle them.
And really running with a sense of purpose. I mean, you're mentioning not shying away from contact. He's just going right for it. Full bore. First and 10 now for the Pioneers. Standard I formation. Here's the handoff. It looks like to Alexander. Gains a healthy 5-6 yards or so. And it keeps the clock running. So it looks like a 2nd and 2. Of course, maybe I'm not quite being as generous with the yardage count, but Jacob Alexander really impressive, even if it is sort of garbage duty at this point.
You know, I wonder if the Pioneers are ever going to let Naveau throw a pass, or if they're just going to keep going with the run through the next quarter as well.
Here's Alexander with another carry. He's going to have the first down. That will most likely be the last play of the third quarter, but they do stop the clock to move the sticks. It is a first down for Jacob Alexander. And they are going to let the clock run, and I do think that will be the last play of the third quarter, but we will see. Yes, it will. That will do it. We are 3 quarters in the books, fourth quarter on the way here from Cupertino High School in Cupertino, California. Your score after 3 quarters. The Cupertino Pioneers, 54. The Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors, 15.
Do want to remind people to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com post-game show, where Phil and I will select our player of the game and wrap up all of the action from this football game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
We're ready to begin the fourth quarter here from Cupertino, California. Philip Kern alongside my colleague Ben Taylor, bringing you Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports, not just here in the CCS, but all around the country for that matter.
Up and down California.
Mm-hmm. You have that right, my friend. That you do.
Referees conferring out in the middle of the field. Not exactly sure what the delay is in the start of the fourth quarter.
At this point, I wish to borrow the phrase from you. I was a fly on the shirt to get some perspective as to what exactly they're conferring about. But we will begin the fourth quarter without a hitch here. Cupertino High School, part of the El Camino League of the Central Coast section. And of course, the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors, part of the West Valley Division of the Mount Hamilton League. Or the Blossom Valley Athletic League, I beg your pardon. First and 10 near midfield for Cupertino. Naveau the handoff to Justin Chang, and he falls forward trying to get the first down. So it seems like it doesn't matter who Cupertino puts in a running back. Everybody's getting good yardage.
I got to tell you, that offensive line doing one heck of a job tonight.
Yes, they are.
And so they deserve a lot of accolades, because you're right. Cupertino has talented running backs. They know what they're doing. But at the same time, if they don't have holes to go through, they don't have a chance to showcase that talent.
Here's another handoff to Alvin Dew. He's going to bounce the outside. He's going to get to the first down and more. He is tripped up at around the 30-yard line as he was tackled right around his legs. Seems to be the only way Yerba Buena can stop these running backs anymore. They try to tackle them up top, and they just bounce off them. Like a Teflon pan with legs.
I don't think I've heard that expression before.
Like you said, you not only learn something new every day, you sometimes hear something new every day.
That's right.
So another first and 10 for the Cupertino offense. They've been moving the ball like clockwork here. And here's another handoff to Justin Chang. Again, falling forward. Not quite the first down, but he does gain about 6.
And you know, Phil, we were talking about how Play On Sports isn't just in Northern California or California that matter. Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Illinois, Colorado, Kansas. Play On Sports is national.
Yes. Very much so. And I'm sure they look just to continue growing, too.
Absolutely.
2nd and 4. We are past the 10-minute mark here at the fourth quarter. And another handoff, this time to Alexander. Not quite sure if he got the first down, maybe about a yard short. So it'll be about a 3rd and 1. But Jacob Alexander, he's been pretty slippery, a fearless runner for his size, and at about 5'5", 140, to be running right into the teeth of the defense, you got to have some heart there.
You certainly do. I mean, you look at the Yerba Buena defensive line, a lot of them with hands on the knees, knee down on the grass before the start of this next play.
And Shai Naveau will get the first down, as they just call the quarterback dive play. But it looked like it was more of a 3 steps and then a dive.
Well, they couldn't just dive. They needed a little bit more than that for the first down.
Yeah,
So
get a little extra insurance.
There
right?
you go.
There you go. I like that.
Can't leave anything to chance.
No. Even if you are up by 39 points. 8:30 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Philip Kern alongside Ben Taylor bringing you high school football here on PlayOnSports.com from Cupertino, California. Here's the pitch to the outside. Alvin Dew was hit like a ton of bricks. Right there as Alonso Evans went up to him and said, "Hi, nice to meet you."
Not a very nice welcome.
Well, nice is all subjective in terms of in between the lines of a football field.
Yeah, I guess Yerba Buena likes the welcome.
Sure. Well, it was nice for Alonso. He made the stop.
Yeah.
So for him, it was nice.
Uh-huh.
But for Alvin Dew, not so much. So a 2nd and 15. 7:40 left to go here in this one. Shai Naveau under center. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to take it around to the outside himself. He's got some open field. He's around to the 10-yard line. He's going to break the tackle. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Cupertino.
And Shai Naveau had the entire Yerba Buena defense bite the wrong way on the handoff.
Oh, yeah.
And he went the other way. And to their credit, the Aztec Warriors tried to recover, but it was too little too late. And Naveau showcasing his speed as a quarterback, getting around the outside and in.
Speed, it seems, at every position, the way things are going. I mean, if it's not the quarterback ducking pressure like we saw from Patrick Johnson the first half, it's Shai Naveau on the fake handoff and the bootleg to the weak side. As the point after is good, but we do have some sort of stoppage in play. And it appears a penalty on Cupertino, so they will try again from a little further back.
False start.
So one of the few things I'm sure that Chris Oswald is going to nitpick on for practice leading up to next week. And
penalties. Few not so smart penalties for Cupertino, but that's about the only thing they can nitpick on.
So Sergio Gonzalez will try the point after once more. Snap's good. The kick is up and still good. So Sergio Gonzalez has been busy, not necessarily from the field goal side of things, but been pretty busy with kickoffs and everything. And with 7:25 to go, Cupertino has more than quadrupled Yerba Buena by a score of 61-15 here in this Friday night football game.
For this stoppage and play, I want to remind people that Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Philip Kern alongside my colleague Ben Taylor from Cupertino High School in Cupertino, California. The kick is away from Sergio Gonzalez as Guillermo Gonzalez fields the kick. Going to try to make something happen here. He bounced to the outside. He's got some field here. He's going to go back up the middle, right down to around the 35. And I was watching his return route. I would wonder if he had gone to the outside a little more, maybe would have had some more success. Maybe it was just instinct to turn back up the middle.
Yeah, he kind of gave up on the outside a little too quickly, I thought, as well.
Either way, Yerba Buena's got a chance to make something happen here.
Get some points on the board in the second half.
Currently getting quadrupled. I don't know how often you can say that on any game, but it is happening here. 6:51 left to go as Yerba Buena offense takes the field. Running out of their pistol formation here. Here's Romero with the snap. He's going to hand it around to Mathis. He's going to go to the outside, and he's met almost immediately by two Cupertino defenders. David Park, one of the defenders in on the tackle.
Again, great pursuit to the football there by the Cupertino defense. Not fooled by the end around. And just being around the game has shown here for the Pioneers. And the lack of experience for Yerba Buena on that last touchdown run, just being totally fooled, has been a major difference.
A little bit of motion here for the Yerba Buena offense. They're going to move all three of these receivers to the near side. Romero directing traffic. He takes the snap. A little bit of blindside pressure, but a nice pickup there by Sasang. He's going to roll out to his left, and it really is not going to matter, I don't think. He's going to get rushed out of bounds. Led by John Herrera, who will probably get credit for the sack. But nice blitz pickup by Jaden Sasang. But again, Mark Romero just does not look comfortable in that pocket.
Well, and Romero's going to learn as he continues to get experience and mature that he needs to get rid of the football more quickly, and he does not have the foot speed to be able to hold on to the football as long as he is. And that just comes with time. That comes with experience, feeling the flow of the game, feeling defenses and pressure.
3rd and 9. Correction, 3rd and 13. Here for the Yerba Buena offense. The handoff to Gonzalez. Tries to get to the outside and nothing doing there. As Tony Uribe sort of makes amends for one of his drop passes earlier by busting up that play behind the line of scrimmage. So 4th down as this clock continues to run. 4.5 minutes left to go here in this game. Philip Kern alongside Ben Taylor coming to you live from Cupertino High School. PlayOnSports.com's presentation of Friday Night Football. We're glad you're able to join us tonight. And be sure to join us all season long for your favorite high school sports coverage. Here's a fake punt snap. And here's the pass up and intercepted by John Herrera as Michael Sandoval was trying to make something happen on that fake punt, but nothing doing as Cupertino will get one more possession with 4 minutes left to go.
You know, I can understand the thought from Marco Osuna, his team down 61-15. Not a whole lot to lose, not a whole lot to gain from punting. But at the same time, if you try a fake punt and it doesn't work and it explodes like it did right there and ends up in an interception, you're not helping your team's morale.
Well, it's definitely one of those things where it's more of a downer than anything. You try to get the element of surprise and it doesn't work out, and here you have this situation. Here's a handoff to Jimmy Chang. Justin Chang, I beg your pardon. He gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Cupertino. That didn't take long. So Justin Chang, who has been getting a steady dose of carries here in the 4th quarter, has a touchdown to add to his stat line. It's now 67-15, Cupertino with 3:21 left to go.
I mean, it's just a machine. And there's no other word for it. It has been absolutely automatic tonight here in Cupertino. For the Pioneers, when their offense takes the field, points are on the board. I mean, you might as well just not take the time off the clock.
And the kick is no good. It was pushed to the left by Sergio Gonzalez. But I don't think Coach Oswald is going to be too nitpicky about that missed kick. If anything else, he'll tell him, hey, look, just line it up.
Yeah, 52-point lead. Not going to really worry about a missed extra point. And if you're Cupertino right now, you start looking ahead. Next week, they've got an away game at Overfelt. Then they're at home against Harker. And then they get a test in Los Altos. I think that's really going to be their first test of this 2012 season, is going to be that Los Altos game, first game in November, October 5th.
And, of course, that Harker game you mentioned, that is the start of league play for Cupertino as well. Here's the squib kick by Gonzalez. It goes off Sandoval, but he does field it, and immediately met by the special teams unit. And they will just continue to let the clock run. 2:44 left to go in this one. 1st and 10 for the Yerba Buena offense as they make their way onto the field.
And they've actually gone to a running clock here, so nothing's going to stop the clock from running here. Just 2.5 minutes left. Cupertino going to move to 3-0 on the year. Yerba Buena falls to 0-3, and they're going to have 2 weeks to work on themselves before getting back at it September 28th.
So here we go with a 1st and 10. Again in the standard pistol offense here. Romero takes the low snap. He hands it off, and nothing doing. Jaden Sasang immediately met at the line of scrimmage. William Liu leading the charge past the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10. And we are past the 2-minute point, so it's all merely just a formality at this point. As you said, Cupertino will move to 3-0 with probably one of the most dominant performances they will have all season.
Hard to imagine another game in which they're going to win by 52.
And I want a special thanks to Buck Ryder again for all his support.
2nd and 10 here as the clock whittles down. 78 seconds left to go.
And volunteer help. Thank you very much, Buck.
And a little bit of movement there, as Iran Serrano will probably flag for the false start, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Still anxious to make something happen, even with the score being what it is.
Have a lot of highlights to talk about, so do want to remind people to stay tuned for the post-game show, and our player of the game will be chosen. I have a feeling it might rhyme with Schmoshner.
I think it might. That's a good guess. 35 seconds left to go and counting. Yerba Buena going 4 wide. Here's Romero with the throw, and it's incomplete, intended for Guillermo Gonzalez. And even with the incomplete pass, the clock is still going to run. And I have a sense we might get one more play out of this game, as Gonzalez, after taking that hit off the incomplete pass, is going towards the sideline. And with 4 seconds to go, they're just going to let this one run out, and that is going to do it as Cupertino puts on an impressive showing for their home faithful with a final of 67-15. And that will take us to the postgame show, as you mentioned. So we invite you to stay tuned to PlayOnSports.com for our postgame coverage. We're going to wrap up all the action in our postgame show, and we'll have an interview with our player of the game. That's coming up in just a few moments. Once again, the Cupertino Pioneers had defeated the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors by a final of 67-15 on Friday Night Football on PlayOnSports.com. Your destination for high school sports. The postgame show is coming up very shortly.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to Cupertino High School here in Cupertino, California, where the Cupertino Pioneers put on an absolute clinic tonight, winning 67-15. And I am joined here by our player of the game, Joseph Oshner. Very, very impressive performance tonight. 11 carries, 197 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Joseph, congratulations. A very fine effort by your team tonight.
Thank you.
So just talk to me a little bit about the performance tonight. I mean, it seemed like everything was clicking right from the get-go. You scored a touchdown on the second play of the game, and it seemed like your team just did not look back. Just what was it seemed like was it one of those days where everything was seemed to be working right?
Yeah, we've just been practicing real hard all season long. Right after last season ended, we just wanted to start this one off with a bang, and we really came to play every single game.
Now, I know this is sort of the last game before league play begins for you guys next week against Harker. So was there anything in particular that Coach Oswald wanted to emphasize in this game against Yerba Buena before you guys start on league play?
We really want to establish our run game. We tried to get our passes in there, but really wanted our line to get those blocks and give me opportunities to make plays.
And the offensive line really did an incredible job blocking, not just for you, but the entire entire fleet of running backs tonight. It seemed like everyone, no matter who was in the backfield, they were getting positive yardage. So I'm guessing you're going to be treating the offensive line to some sort of dinner later?
Yeah, that's the plan. Get them bigger.
Very nicely done. Well, Joseph, congratulations. A very, very fine effort tonight, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That is Joseph Oshner, our tonight's player of the game. Again, 11 carries, 197 yards, and 4 touchdowns in an absolute clinic by the Cupertino Pioneers as they defeated the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors 67-15. Don't go away. We'll have more of the PlayOnSports.com postgame show right after this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
And we continue here from Cupertino High School on the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where the Cupertino Pioneers defeated the Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors 67-15. I'm Philip Kern alongside my colleague Ben Taylor. And Ben, we were just treated to an absolute clinic tonight by the Cupertino offense. The running game was just in full force. It seemed like no matter who was carrying the ball, they were getting positive yards tonight.
Cupertino is going to be a force to be reckoned with in league play. If they can continue to run the football like they did tonight, Patrick Johnson under center, he knows how to manage a football game. That was obvious tonight. Even in just one half, he didn't play at all in the second half. And boy, when you've got Joseph Oshner back there, you're going to be dangerous. The guy is flashy, and then Eli Hawkins also has the ability to run out of the backfield, punt returns, kick returns, catching the ball out of the backfield. I mean, this team really has it all, and if the defense continues to play as well, this is a very, very complete Pioneers football team.
And it was like I was telling Joseph earlier today, they didn't waste any time. Second play of the game, right out of the gate, boom, they get a touchdown, and it seems like it was all systems go from there. But really have to talk about what Yerba Buena did. I mean, it wasn't all a lost cause for them. They did have some nice moments. Probably one of the plays of the game was Ray Mathis. I mean, he just took a catch that really was one of those types of things where we thought he was down. I mean, he had 3 defenders draped all over him, and to our surprise, emerges from the dog pile and turns it into a score. I mean, you would have to think that that would build some sort of momentum for the Aztec Warriors.
Yeah, the offense has some ways to go, but they do have a playmaker in Mathis. They need somebody who can consistently get the ball to him, so we'll see if they can develop that over these next few weeks. They do have a bye week next week, so maybe they can work on that a little bit. But yeah, they showed flashes. First half, there were more flashes than in the second half. No points in the second half for the Aztec Warriors, so that's kind of a tough one to take, but you can understand it already being down by so much at halftime. You might not have your legs totally in it in the second half. But Yerba Buena, they do have some talent. They need to find some consistency and learn the game of football in order to compete with a team like Cupertino.
And, of course, with Yerba Buena having that bye week, as you mentioned, got some time to go to the drawing board, work on some things, and perhaps come out of that ready to go. But for Cupertino, no rest for the weary. They start league play against Harker next week, and that's going to really be a big test. And I think they've got their fine-tuning down. I think they should be ready to go.
Seems to me they will be. I don't think they're going to get a test for at least 2 or 3 more weeks until they face off against Los Altos. That's gonna be a big game for them, and then we'll see how they do with that. Because I wouldn't be at all surprised to see them in the playoffs.
Absolutely. And with that, we are going to wrap things up here from Cupertino. Want to give thanks to our videographer, Dave Custon, our producer, Brad Youngquist, and my colleague, Ben Taylor. Thank you very much for joining me for this game tonight. I am Philip Kern. It's been a pleasure to bring you Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com, your home for high school sports, not just here in California, but throughout the entire country. Once again, your final, the Cupertino Pioneers 67, Yerba Buena Aztec Warriors 15. That'll do it for here from PlayOnSports.com. For all of us here, I am Philip Kern. Have a good night.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you. One shot.